Here we are then, Mafia 3 Buy It or Bin It review. You've got myself Apps here from the Dimp Digital team, and I'm going to take you through my personal review and give Mafia 3 its official grading. Let's kick things off with my cards on the table. First off, I'm a huge Mafia fan. The original Mafia, which I played on PC, probably goes down as one of my favourite games ever. It's certainly in that top list somewhere, and I did love the sequel follow-up, Mafia 2. Secondly, I played this on the PlayStation 4. So Mafia 3 is an open world action adventure game that's set in the late 60s, and you take control of a Vietnam War veteran, Lincoln Clay. The main basis of the game is going through the city with Lincoln and trying to take over the city, which is a reimagined version of New Orleans called New Bordeaux. Now, in order to do this, you need to weaken the multiple gang districts scattered around the map by destroying their bases, killing their gang members, taking over their businesses, and a number of other activities. Once you have taken over a district, you then assign one of these to your 3 lieutenants that offer various perks and buffs depending on which one you choose. And throughout that, if you want to try and keep all 3 of them happy, or you can concentrate on one and level them up. But obviously, if you don't start assigning districts to other lieutenants, they might get a little bit angry with you and cause some conflict. Now, Mafia 3's story and soundtrack are top notch. They do a really good job with both of these, which are hallmarks of the Mafia series if you've played them before. The soundtrack is banging, classical tunes from that time period, and the story tackles the issue of race head on. And I feel like they do a great job here and go where many games are too scared. I think it is genuinely a step forward for the industry when games tackle a mature enough subject like this and go down this road, and I hope to see more difficult subject matter being tackled in the future from other games. Do not be scared to do this as long as you do it correctly. Driving and combat is also getting a thumbs up for me. The shooting is weighty and tight, and I love the loose muscle car driving. They create some awesome chases with gang members and police officers. Stealth does play quite a heavy part in the combat, and it's passable, I'd say, but it is way too overpowered. It's so easy just to whistle to an enemy, have them walk around to your cover, and you just tap a button and slaughter them. And you can do this one by one with lots of them if they're in the vicinity. If you can lure them over to one area, you can just kill them. And it makes it a little bit too easy, and it's just, I don't know, a little bit too simple for my liking. A cool feature that I quite like that actually adds into the way the world is set up and the setting is that there has to be a witness of your crime in order for the police to be alerted. So if no one sees it, you'll get away with it, which is good. But if someone does, they will run to a phone box and report it. But this does give you a window to kind of pacify them and get away with it scot-free. Now, if you're too slow and someone does call the cops and they head your way, their response time is dictated by your location of the city. So if you're in a rich, predominantly white area, there's more cop presence for a start, there's more police presence, and they will be on your arse like lightning as soon as the call's made in. But if you're in a poor, predominantly black area within the city, they take a long time to arrive, and there's not a big police presence there. And this all ties back into this world and race situation that Hangar 13 have created. Having these small details really does add an extra layer to the city and to the story and the setting. Now, despite some of the steps forward that Hangar 13 have made in terms of the subject matter, they do their best to sabotage this with some terrible open world filler mission structure that make the game a complete grind to get through. The missions relating to taking over these districts are cookie cutter repetitive crap. So you have these brilliantly acted and directed powerful story moments, but to experience them you have to go through 3 hours of 2 or 3 of the same mission types. What a pathetic way to rip the potential from the game. And I know why they did this. I know exactly why they did this, because the criticism that was levelled at Mafia and Mafia 2 was that they had these big open worlds with nothing to do in it. You'd essentially go from story mission to story mission. Forget that they told brilliantly crafted, well-paced stories with genuinely interesting, unique story objectives whilst you were doing it. No, people wanted more content. They wanted side missions. They wanted collectibles. They wanted, tapping into phone systems to unlock where the collectibles are. It's all this tower shit that's been coming into open world game for ages. Well, you've got that here, and for many, it will undo all the good work that's sitting behind the game. All the effort put into doing a great story, presenting it well, and getting the solid mechanics sorted. It's very, very disappointing. I just can't describe how upset I was with the way that the game ended up in the end, and it just becomes too long and too bloated. It's nearly 40 hours worth. It doesn't need to be that. It was fine as it was before, and unfortunately, people have made the decision to go and create a generic open world, which is not what many people will want. So Mafia 3 almost completely squanders the steps forward it has made with its bland and boring mission structure and progression that we've seen a dozen times in other run-of-the-mill open world games. They stripped away Mafia's unique structure and have gone for something that's too familiar and lacks any sort of imagination. In my view, it is saved by just how strong the subject matter is, how well it is handled, the great soundtrack that beats throughout the game, that will keep you going, and the mechanics, the foundation of the mechanics are strong for combat and driving. Mafia 3 scrapes itself a Dimp Digital by its seal of approval, and my official grading is bronze. Thanks for your time, and ta-da.